perform and people to, I know I need to hold my closer, but I'm trying to turn my page at the same time. All right. So, first of all, you see him sitting here. If you don't know him, this is the winner from last year. Sweet William Billy Enos of Palatka, Florida. His 50 years of original songs cover multiple genres, subjects including love, war, environment, and folk. Country and blues, one of my favorites. On August 26, 2018, he won the North Central Florida Blues Regional Solo Challenge and represented North Florida in the 2019 International Blues Challenge in Memphis, Tennessee. Another great place of mine. His acoustic finger pick style weaves through songs of his life with a simple feel of storytelling, and his deep, resonant voice grabs the essence of his stories. I can hardly wait to hear him. I give him a big hand, if you will. Sweet William is now going to play for us.
Thank you very much. I'm going to play a number of songs that I've written. My last one will be the one I won last year with Flat Bottom Boats. First one is about the Cowboys that I grew up with that little 9-inch TV black and white screen with the tin foil on the rabbit ears, and Gene Autry and Dale Evans and Roy Rogers and Tom Mix, and it's called Lonesome Cowboy. Been a long, long time since the world has seen a man who can rope and tie like the cowboys can. Saddle up and ride down the Chisholm Trail, picking out a tune now, sing a cowboy's tale. Oh, you lonesome dove. Oh, you lonesome man. You are a vanishing hero, America's cowboy friend. Do 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 ride the pale red sunset across a dry and dusty land. There's woman on his mind now, but whiskey's in his hand. Gazing at the starlights in the shadows of the moon. Listen to the wolf cry and the great owl croon. Oh, you lonesome dove. Oh, you lonesome man. You are a vanishing hero, America's cowboy friend. Do 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 do. That's a little bit of cowboy music for you. Here's a little bit of up tempo. It's called House of Mirrors. It's a breakup song when you break up with a woman, and you want to blame her, but then you look in a mirror, you know. Called House of Mirrors. rain last night, feeling kind of blue. Teardrops from a broken sky. All because of you. I was frightened by the moment, almost brought to tears. Terrified that living is a fragile house of mirrors. Mirrors, 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 mirrors. I was dreaming of that dame last night. That dream was cruel as a day edge of night. I became the fool. I was frightened by the moment, almost brought to tears. Terrified that living is a fragile house of mirrors. Mirrors, 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 mirrors. I was walking in the rain last night, feeling kind of blue. Teardrops from a broken sky, each one shed for you. I was frightened by the moment, almost brought to tears. Terrified that living is a fragile house of mirrors. Mirrors, 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 mirrors. All right, that's when you start them out wrong, and I'm just getting the hang of playing guitar these days. You know, I started out as a drummer, so please forgive my mistakes. But I also have to have a list, so I know what I'm doing here. This is a little blues song I wrote. I was diagnosed with liver cancer about 5 years ago, and I wrote this. It's called Dying Man Blues. I'm in remission 4 years now, so it's a good thing. Never before in my life did I think I could lose. Never before in my life did I quit loving blues. My hair's turning gray, there's pain every day. Never before in my life I thought it would end this way. And on my tombstone, the words that I choose. Never before in his life did he play Dying Man Blues. Never before in my life I couldn't take it no more. Never before in my life would I just walk out the door. I'd stand my ground, no matter the pain. Never before in my life would I back down again. And on my tombstone, the words that I picked. Never before in his life did he take a big hit. Never before in my life was the end this close. Never before in my life did I feel such remorse for life's regrets and blues and pain. Never before in my life would I live it this way again. And on my tombstone, the words that I'd write. Never before in his life did he give up the fight. Never before in my life did I think I could lose. Never before in my life did I quit playing blues. My hair's turning gray, there's pain every day. Never before in my life I thought it would end this way. And on my tombstone, the words that I choose. Never before in my life did I play Dying Man Blues. There's my sneaky list under my shorts. Sometimes when you write songs, you write them. I wrote this song as a poem 50-something years ago, and I finished it about a year ago. It's about a guy I knew that came to the park, an old man, and he would sit in the park bench with the pigeons and the squirrels, you know, and I got to know him, and he said that the best thing about life is his memories. And this is called Easy Come. Old man collects his memories to take for a walk in the afternoon. Sit among his friends, the trees. His twilight's coming, his twilight soon. But all that he needs for comfort in his fading midday meadow sun are a few recalls of an easing sword which come easy, which easy come. Older than he ever thought he'd be, poor for the times, wiser for the years. Old and blind, but he still can see yesterday, tomorrow, and all the tears. But all that he needs for comfort is fading midday meadow sun are a few recalls of an easing sword which come easy, which easy come, which come easy, which easy come. With all that he needs for comfort in his fading midday meadow sun are a few recalls of an easing sword which come easy, which easy come, which come easy, which easy come. But that was nearly 50 years ago, and I wondered about that old man. Now I'm sitting in that old park bench, turns out that's just who I am. And all that I need for comfort in my fading midday meadow sun are a few recalls of an easing sword which come easy, which easy come, which come easy, which easy come. Old man collects his memories to take for a walk in the afternoon. Thank you very much. So I've done a few things in my life as far as careers. I'm a multi-career tasker kind of guy. But I played music for quite a number of years. I was a drummer at first and then a bass player for most of my career. I picked up the guitar and started finger picking about 6 years ago. So I'm a little bit new at it, but I've been writing songs for a while. But I also owned a blues bar, a music venue down in Palatka called the Downtown Blues. And through my years of playing and playing out in different bars and owning a bar, I ran into a certain kind of person that I kind of regrettably saw a few of them pass. And I quit drinking 8 years ago, and because I had liver problems and had ended up with cancer and got that treated. But this song is dedicated to a few of my friends that are no longer with us. It's called Ballroom Fool. Just a barroom memory. He sat on his old bar stool, telling his stories again and again. Just a barroom fool. There were times through the years that I even knew their name, but each new barroom fool seems much the same. The first I knew so long ago, his name was Jack. Clock tick-tock, and he was gone, ain't never coming back. Now his old bar stool stayed empty for near about a week, till another barroom fool sat in that seat. Just a barroom memory, sat on that old bar stool, telling his stories again and again. Just a barroom fool. At the bar last night, I looked around at all the friends I knew, and I realized then that in the end they'd be memories too. So when I've passed and I'm gone, no longer on my old bar stool, friends will stop to say goodbye to this old barroom fool. Just a barroom memory. I sat on my old bar stool, telling my stories again and again. Just a barroom fool. La-dee-da, 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 la-dee-da. Just a barroom memory. I sat on my old bar stool, singing my songs again and again. Just a barroom fool. All right, we'll pick up the pace here. When I was 15 or 16, both years, I worked at Ackerley's mobile station on South Street. And there was a hanger-around guy that had a 55 Chevy, and he'd get the guy that owned the place, my friend's father, Mr. Ackerley, would let him use the lift anytime it was free. And he'd work on that 55, and on Saturday night, this is a true story, he would drag race down Main Street trying to bait our only one-town cop, Louis Bellotti. It's called Drag Racing Down Main Street. Wrenching on my Chevy, pretty Sally walked in. In a sweet voice, she said, "You think you can win?" I said, "Well, Saturday night, I'll roll out these wheels, smoke up the tires, so they grip and don't squeal. Rev up the engine, pop the clutch at the top, drag race down Main Street, looking out for that cop." Well, my old 55 has got a rockin' V8, triple deuce and manifold of carburet, a 411 rear with limited slip, synchro gears and a 4-speed stick. So I'll rev up the engine, pop the clutch at the top, drag race down Main Street, looking out for that cop. Well, I hear those sirens wailing coming up from behind, closer and closer as my engine unwinds. You know, I I'm losing ground. I don't have the gas, so I'll switch on the nitro, kick it in the ass. Rev up the engine, pop the clutch at the top. Drag race down Main Street, now I'm losing that cop. Well, I lost that copper, so I headed back home to my sweet Sally, but she wasn't alone. There at the front door, my future father-in-law, sporting that police badge, cause he was the law. So I revved up the engine, popped the clutch at the top, headed back down to Main Street, cause he was the cop. Pull it over, license and registration, please. A little bit of rock and roll for you. Two more? All right, I'm going to throw this one in. I didn't have it on my little list that I just crumpled up, and I can't read it anyway. We're ahead of schedule. This is a song I wrote about about our environment. I wrote it before the 2016 elections, being very worried about our rivers and our Everglades and our glacial pact. Read the morning paper, the story made page 3, next to the graph of our murder rate, and a picture of an old cypress tree, whose captions read that it's quite a shame that we're about to lose fauna and some flora to the poisons that we use. Well, don't tell me that you agree when you stand there frozen still, and don't tell me you have no choice. We all have free will. Right here in our own backyard, we raise the sugar cane. The Everglades get poisoned, that's something to explain. Coal-fired plants and paper mills rise cinder to the sky. It's washed back down in the acid rain, and we're left to wonder why. Well, don't tell me that you agree when you stand there frozen still, and don't tell me they have no choice. We all have free will. How could we trade our river's health just to deepen the Jacksport dredge and celebrate that new river center built because DP dumps some sludge? Pump high pressured water into the ground so we can frack. The coastal islands they're shrieking as we melt the glacial pack. Well, don't tell me that you agree when you stand there frozen still. Don't tell me you have no choice. We all have free will. It's a real life shocker that the movement has lost its way. Can anyone tell me when we celebrate Earth Day? I thought our generation had more guts than that. I thought our generation wouldn't take this pollution crap. I hope I can say that word, crap. But pollution is crap. Anyway, I think I'm going to do my last song, which is Flat Bottom Boats. He woke up the Suwannee, where the water flowed like black silk, and present by the river, he worked his flat-bottom boat. We'll tow that barge and lift that bell, pole in the shoal. Captain Tucker's Madison loaded down like a country store. He traded pigs, eggs, and chickens, and bacon, tallow, hides, and gum. What he lacked on this trip, he'd have on his next run. He woke up on the Suwannee, where the water flowed like black silk, and cradled by the river, he worked his flat-bottom boat. Well, the Madison worked the Suwannee River till Tucker was called to fight. Those southern boys said they needed him, said their cause was just and right. But before he left for Virginia, the Madison had sunk a Union gunboat. Then he scuttled her up in White Springs, and the Madison sailed no more. He woke up on the Suwannee, where the water flowed like black silk, and cradled by the river, he worked his flat-bottom boat. Flat-bottom double-decker steamships. After the Civil War, they worked the Suwannee River, Old Town, Cedar Key, the Springs, the Gulf Shore, and folks swarmed in from around the world to heal in her black silk water, soaking up white sulfur springs and hoping for the cure. He woke up on the Suwannee, where the water flowed like black silk, and cradled by the river, he worked his flat-bottom boat. Ride that double-decker steamship, after those double stacks, the Louisa, the Paul Yulee, and of course, there was the Suwannee River Belle. And the last flat-bottom tied up back in 1923. The first Tucker's Madison, the last, the city of Hawkinsville. He woke up on the Suwannee, where the water flowed like black silk, and cradled by the river, he worked his flat-bottom boat. He worked his flat-bottom boat. Thank you very much.
And have a great, successful event here today. Thank you so much.